Hello and welcome to a new edition of Africa Today. Actually, today is a special edition of our program as we are going to focus on the developmental projects that were inaugurated by President Fattah Sisi in Upper Egypt in the past few days. And now we will start as President Fattah Sisi wrapped up the Upper Egypt Week, where he inaugurated a number of development projects under the state's plan to develop Upper Egyptian Governorates. Let's watch this story.
Upper Egypt has extended to include almost all sectors of life there. Regarding energy, Upper Egypt receives 12,400 megawatts of electricity. That part of the country has also become on the roadmap of renewable energy generation when Bimban's solar park began operation in 2019. As for the oil and gas sectors, natural gas has been installed in 1.1 million residential units. To ensure self-sufficiency, the gasoline production complex was established in Asyut, where oil terminals were also built. Further, butane gas storage warehouses were built in Sohag. Speaking of digitization, fiber optics are being extended in Upper Egypt for the first time within Decent Life initiative. That is in addition to digitizing the services of courts, prosecution offices and police stations. In education, 34,000 classrooms, 2,320 regular schools and 219 technical education schools were built. That is in addition to high-performing student schools and Japanese schools in New Minya and New Asyut. Further, the illiteracy of 1.5 million citizens were eliminated. In the healthcare sector, public and university hospitals were rehabilitated at 42 billion Egyptian pounds. Moreover, a plasma donation center was built in Minya, as the construction of 2 others is underway in Sohag and the Red Sea. In addition, 1,457 medical caravans are operating to offer services to 1.9 million citizens. The Universal Health Insurance System has also been introduced in Luxor and Aswan, developing 169 healthcare units at 22 billion. The agricultural sector received public investments worth 17 billion pounds, as 550,000 fiddens were reclaimed in East Awainet, Toshka, New Valley, Fayoum and Minya, and modern irrigation was introduced in 300,000 fiddens. As part of establishing the world's biggest dates farm in the world, 1.7 million palm trees were cultivated on 40,000 fiddens in Toshka, with the aim of making a total number of 2.5 million. With regard to agricultural services, 530,000 smart cars were distributed among farmers in Other Egypt. Regarding food security, 27 silos were built to store wheat and grains. Regarding food security, 27 silos were built to store wheat and grains at 1.3 billion Egyptian pounds. 3 logistics zones were introduced at 4.7 billion pounds in Al Fayoum, Qina and Luxor. Regarding the manufacturing sector, 11 industrial cities spanning over a total of 9,300 fiddens were built. Such zones are expected to secure 127,000 jobs. Equally, 914,000 SMEs received funding worth 27 billion pounds, while public enterprise factories were rehabilitated at 17.4 billion pounds. In a different context, as most Egyptian archaeological sites lie in Upper Egypt, museums were renovated, underground water was reduced, and the Sphinx Valley was revived.
And to shed more light on the importance of these developmental projects, we are joined over the phone by Dr. Mohammed Rushdi, economic banking expert and lecturer at Cairo University. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Dr. Mohammed. Dr. Mohammed. Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Excuse me.
Yes, Dr. Mohammed.
The voice is not clear.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
The voice is not clear.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
Okay, Dr. Mohammed, sorry for this technical problem, and we will continue for now with our reports. And at the turn of the year, let's have a look at the major economic and development projects that have been implemented in Upper Egypt's governorates?
First of all, I would like to take the opportunity to wish a new year for that the new year will bring a lot of success and sound health for Egyptian citizens and the presidential leadership. God bless Egypt. I would like to start my topic concerning the development of Upper Egypt with answering two questions eventually. The first one, where we are now and where we want to go. Actually, what we are doing now, that we are bearing the fruits for the Egyptian economic reform and all the things that done during the Mr. President Sisi presidential period. Actually, I would like to highlight that Egypt is working hardly, and the presidential leadership and government are working hardly in a lot of sectors, especially on the part of mega projects, and which includes the infrastructure. We already developed Middle East largest private. We're working on the Middle East largest private medical city, in addition to brilliant military base and Daba nuclear power plant. We invested around, as far as I recall, $29 billion. In addition to, we invested around $1.2 billion on CFC, which is a concentrated solar power, and $20 billion in the entertainment district in the new capital. This is in addition to the new airports and the new canalways, a lot of things. And I would like to focus mainly on the new Banadan solar plant in Upper Egypt. Actually, it will produce more than fourth of the power once fully operational and prevent 2 million tons of carbon dioxide emission a year. Actually, this is aligned with the global vision for working to decrease the carbon footprint and concerning the sustainability, which we have the pleasure to host the next meeting or summit next year, if God will. I believe this will be Banyan Solar will be the crucial and the important project to get renewable energy, and it will link Upper Egypt with the entire country, and will be the factory to generate the renewable energy and get more FDI to our country. A lot of things during this mega projects will happen. I would like to take you and our audience through this mega project that the government of Egypt has provided around 37.2 kilometers of land to NRE in Benin, in the town of Dawa Markaz of Upper Egypt, for the development of the Benin Solar Park. The 41 solar power plants will be developed on plots ranging from 0.3 kilometers square to 1 kilometer square in size. Each planet will be equipped with photovoltaic panels mounted on fixed immovable frames, which will be laid in areas. The PV panels will range in size from 1,200 and 600 meters square to 2,000 and 1,000 meters square. I believe this will help a lot our country to have a sustainable source of energy, and will increase a lot of things, increase renewable energy, and will create a new jobs for the Egyptian citizen. And I believe the the unemployment rate will be decreased, and that's what we realized during the last 7 years, that the unemployment rate decreased from, as far as I recall, from 14% to reach 7%. In addition to, it will help a lot to get more FDI, and this is the main focus for any country to get more FDI and encourage investors to invest their money. And this is possibly, as I told you, that we are being the fruits. As I told you in our audience, we currently are being the fruits. I would like to share with our audience that Egypt's competitiveness rank increased. As far as I recall, we jumped around the 21 rank. This is due to the development and the infrastructure and the new projects that the presidential leadership adopted.
Yes, Dr. Mohammed Rushdi. Also, if we talk about this week's activities, the President has ordered a comprehensive review of the national projects nationwide to solve their problems. What are your thoughts on this?
Excuse me?
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you barely.
Okay, seems you can't hear me. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Mohammed Rushdi, economic banking expert and lecturer at Cairo University. And still with our reports for today, and at the turn of the year, let's have a look at the major economic and development projects that have been implemented in Upper Egypt's governorates. Here is the full story.
The government has almost completed the development of 20 industrial zones in the Upper Egypt at a financial cost of about £2.8 billion with regard to water, sewage, electricity, energy and communication networks. It comes as part of the government's action plan for industrial development in Upper Egypt. These information and remarks were made by Minister of Trade and Industry Niveen Gama during President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's inauguration this week of a number of development projects, including 5 industrial complexes. Besides, the government conducts infrastructure rehabilitation and development of 4 industrial zones in Qina and Sohag within the framework of the Local Development Program for Upper Egypt, which is being implemented in cooperation with the World Bank and the Ministry of Local Development. The minister revealed that the total amount spent so far to this end has been approximately £3.2 billion. Gama noted that the second axis of the action plan includes identifying the most important opportunities and projects available for industrial investment in Upper Egypt, which amount to 234 opportunities, most of which are medium projects whose investment cost ranges between £1 million and £25 million. She further pointed out that Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency contributes to the Upper Egypt Development Plan. The agency has directed £16 billion to finance about 827,000 medium and small and micro projects in Upper Egypt during the period from 2014 to 2021, which represents about 65% of the funding directed to the governorates of Upper Egypt since the establishment of the agency.
And the Minister of Trade and Industry, Niveen Gama, has stated that the government almost completed the development of 20 industrial zones in Upper Egypt at a financial cost of 2.8 billion Egyptian pounds with regard to water, sewage, electricity, energy and communications networks. It comes as part of the government's action plan for industrial development in Upper Egypt. Let's have a look on this report. Well, dear viewers, that's all for our edition of Africa Today. Thank you for watching.